What is up? What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Hello, 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 hello. Happy Friday, y'all. Welcome to the awesome people of the internet Friday hangout, guys. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope you had a fantastic weekend or week. It's the weekend, guys. It's time for us to relax from the week that was and to continue to enjoy some fantastic women's basketball, y'all. So today we had some big games that came up today. We had a very, very, very surprising upset today. We got some games to get into. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. But first, I do want to see what y'all have to say about the week that was. Let's talk about your thoughts about what happened today. We had LSU play today. We had South Carolina play today. We had Ohio State play today. Iowa's playing right now. We've seen some stuff that was a bit surprising. Notre Dame played today. Lots of big games that happened today. So let me know the one takeaway that you have from today. The one takeaway that you have so far from today, like what is it? Is it about a specific player? Is it about a specific team? Let me know. Let me know your one thing that is your takeaway for the day. Let me know. We're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna get into some of the big games that happened today. All right. So yeah, let me know, guys. What was your takeaway today? What was your takeaway? Endel says people will get got this weekend. Just watch. Facts on facts on facts. Yes, absolutely. Because as we all know, guys, anybody can get got at any time. It don't matter who you are. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter at all. You can get got, and you will get got if you don't play like you're worth something. And we're going to get into this Ohio State game because the Ohio State game was a very evident fact of that. It really did show that was the case, that you can get got. Who would have thought Maryland would have had an upset today? Who would have thought, guys? Vic says LSU just gave us a basketball game and a wrestling match. Awesome. yeah, guys. So if y'all did not check out that LSU game that just ended, it felt like every 2 seconds somebody was on the floor. I was like, man, what is going on? You gonna need everybody with knee braces, arm braces, like rib braces. I was just like, it was a little bit too much. It was a little bit too much, but yeah. it's kind of, I don't know. I was like, I just knew somebody was gonna come out there with a severe, after that game, with a severe injury. I mean, Angel Reese looked like she tweaked her ankle, but doesn't seem as bad as I thought things could get with all the people falling and going down in that game. Like, I was just like, wow. Frank says endurance and ball handling is key. Yeah. And also making your shots. That is also very key. Ken said Ohio State could drop to number 3. And Iowa may need a big need to win in the Big Ten tourney to win. Actually, no. So right now, with Ohio State losing, Iowa is now a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. They're now a number 1 seed because they were right on the outside looking in to that 1 seed. So because Ohio State lost, Iowa is that number 1 seed right now. Can that change? Yeah, sure, that can change. But Iowa's playing Penn State right now. They're pretty much destroying Penn State, so that game is basically over. Only Justin says Flage's dominance had me so hype in the first evening. Yeah, she was absolutely dominant, and we're gonna get into that game because yes, we talk about Flage Johnson and how great she is, but like a lot of times we haven't seen as much of the offensive juggernaut that is Flau'jae Johnson, because she's very talented. We know she is, but lately, like this season has pretty much been on the defensive end. And I feel like she's been left out of some highlights, right? And even me, like sometimes when I'm talking about LSU, sometimes I don't mention Flau'jae Johnson. And like she was like, hey, I'm letting y'all know, man, I'm Big Fo. I'm here. y'all better, when y'all talking about these other players on this team, y'all better mention me too. And I was like, okay, Flau'jae. Making it happen, Captain. Making it happen, Captain. All right. Quandary says, dang, Ohio had faith in them for a minute. Yeah, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this Ohio State game because, y'all, this was not a game that I expected for us to see. So if you don't know, now you know. Ohio State lost to Maryland today. They played earlier today, and this game was basically a blowout. So Maryland won 82-61. Now, this is a Maryland team that is not that good. I mean, they're okay, right? But they're 19-12 on the season. They're not even close to sniffing a top 25 spot in the country. And then they go against number 4 in the country, Ohio State, and Ohio State get destroyed. And it's not to me, it's not the fact that they lost. It's how they lost, which is the big issue. So actually let's get into that, and let's bring up our board. Guys, let me know if y'all appreciate me having the boards of who's playing and what's happening and whatnot. So yeah, anyway, here's the board for the Big Ten. And guys, so here's what we've seen so far. So first, on Wednesday, we saw that Northwestern lost to Purdue. Rutgers lost to Minnesota. And yesterday, we saw Maryland beat Illinois in a really good game. Maryland, they're doing some late heroics, it seems like, to make a big push. We have Nebraska that beat Purdue. We saw Penn State beat Wisconsin. Penn State is I like Penn State. I mean, yeah, they're playing like trash today against Iowa, but they had a really good game against Wisconsin, got the dub, moved on, and we saw Michigan get the job done against Minnesota lose to Michigan. And then today, here's what happened today. We saw Ohio State lose to Maryland, as I said earlier, 82-61. Now, this game was a shocker for a lot of points, right? You have the better team that is Ohio State losing to Maryland. And again, as I said earlier, it wasn't the fact that they lost. It's not that. It's how they lost that was such a huge issue for this team, because Cody McMahon couldn't hit anything. Cody McMahon couldn't shoot a shot, couldn't make a shot to save her life in the game earlier today. She was 3 of 17. Absolutely horrible. And it wasn't just her that was bad. JC Sheldon, I would say JC Sheldon and Cody McMahon are like the 1-2 punch for Ohio State. Both of them were not good in this game. They were not good at all. And you can't have games like that when it comes to conference tournament time, because you will get got. You will. You can't show up off, not hustling, not being able to take down shots, not playing defense. You can't expect to just come in and win. You can't do it. You cannot do it. You have to show up. Like, just because you're a better team on paper does not mean you're going to win. Anybody can get got, including the number 4 team in the country in Ohio State. Y'all, did y'all watch that Ohio State game? Let me know what y'all thought about that game. It is, it's just, I don't know, man. Maryland is getting on the run. I really do enjoy it. I really, really, really do enjoy it. And for for the Terrapins, it really was Cheyenne Sellers who like did her thing. Yeah, I think she played all. I don't even think she sat on the bench at all in that game. Cheyenne Sellers, she dominated, had 25 points in the game, and was just all over the place. It wasn't just that Cheyenne Sellers was scoring; she was grabbing boards and she was getting her teammates involved, and she was dominating. And then Ohio State wasn't doing much of anything, and then so is the loss for Ohio State. Now, let's continue to talk about the Big Ten tournament. So, master teacher Tavon Powell. Okay, master teacher. Master teacher says Maryland has a good coach. Yeah, they do. So Brenda Freese is the coach of Maryland. And if y'all don't remember Brenda Freese, back in the day, man, Maryland used to be that team. Y'all remember when, who was it? Chrissy Tolliver played at Maryland. Maryland is a program that used to be very, very good in women's college basketball. And lately, they just haven't lived up to the way they used to be, right? But they do still have a good coach. Brenda Freese is a really good coach. She's had some rough times with her teams lately, but it's no time like the present. It's no time like the present to show up and show out and get some big wins in women's college basketball. So let's talk about some other games for the Big Ten. We saw the fact that Nebraska is continuing to put wins on the board. Nebraska was able to beat Michigan State earlier today. And, Nebraska's a fun team to watch. They really are. They won 73-61, and Alexis Murkowski, she did her thing. She did her thing in this game, having 22 points. We will see Maryland go against Nebraska next. I am very much interested to watch this game. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens, guys. We are going to right now we are talking about the Big Ten tournament. We're going to move on to the SEC tournament in a sec, then go to the ACC, and then go to the Pac-12. So just want to give you all a lay of the land of what we're going to do. So if y'all like, I want to talk about my team, we're going to get to it. We're going to talk about LSU. We're going to talk about Oregon State. We're going to talk about all these teams in just a sec. Just want to get through the Big Ten tournament. All right. So Nicholas says, watch Nebraska or Maryland win the Big Ten now. I mean, let's go. Hey, it's free smoke tour. Free smoke for everybody. Free smoke for everybody. Regardless of how good you are, free smoke, I think when we look at a conference like the Big Ten, sure, yes, you do have the giants of Iowa, Indiana, Ohio State, but now with Ohio State down, I mean, Iowa, technically the Iowa versus Penn State game is not over, but I put the Iowa one because we have a minute left in that game, and Iowa's winning by like 30 points. So that's why I have Iowa sort of advancing past Penn State, because Penn State can't score 30 points in a minute. So that game is basically over. So anybody can get got. We know this. We say this all the time. And who knows? We could possibly see Maryland or Nebraska in the Big Ten conference championship game. Like, I would be down for it because as we know, like, let's have some upsets. Guys, likely Indiana does play Michigan later today. Likely Indiana will win that game, and we will see a rematch of Iowa versus Nebraska. Now, guys, I do want to hear what you all have to say about the potential of Iowa versus Indiana. Let me know, guys, what you all think might happen in that game. I do think if Iowa plays Indiana, which it seems likely. I don't think Michigan was going to beat Indiana. But I don't know who's exactly going to win. I don't know if this is going to be a game that Iowa wins. I'm not sure if this is a game that Indiana wins. I don't know. But I will say this. I do see Nebraska beating Maryland. Right? So I do see Nebraska beating Maryland and it being Nebraska in the championship game versus either Iowa or Indiana. So guys, let me know in the chat who you all think is going to win. Do you think it's going to be Iowa? Do you think Indiana is going to beat them? Like, let me know, guys. Let me know in the chat about this Big Ten showdown. Guys, please hit that like button. That would be absolutely fantastic. We are about to move on to the conference that it seems like everybody is talking about in the chat. Everybody seems to be talking about the SEC right now. So we're gonna move into the SEC, but real quick, just want to get any of y'all other thoughts about this. Nicholas says, I will say Maryland has played Ohio State really tough for the most part, so I'm not completely shocked. I mean, yeah, but like you expect the better team to show up on the big stages. But, you know, they got. Brad says Nebraska has beaten both Maryland and Iowa this season. Michaela says Iowa needs to get their get backs. Yeah, they do. We'll see if it happens. Nicholas, absolutely. Nebraska is legitimately good. They are. They're not a part of the big three, but they're a very good squad. They're a very good squad that you cannot sleep on. So, you know, it is what it is. Master Teacher says, that name is so funny. Master Teacher says Iowa is going to win. Okay. I got people saying, okay, Mora says, I'm just so annoyed I cannot watch Pac-12 games to save my life. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, next season, the Pac-12 will not be here anymore, and the games will be a lot more accessible for you to watch some of the former Pac-12 teams play next season. So hopefully you have that to look forward to. But sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, the Pac-12 network is not the best. It's not the best. Ken says, as a Hawkeye fan, I have to agree that Nebraska can be really good. Yeah, they can. They absolutely can. Let's see what else y'all got to say. Karan says, are you watching Stanford versus Oregon State right now? I am not, because I'm on the live with you guys. But we will make sure to give updates throughout this game. So, guys, we are in the second quarter right now. We have Oregon State winning 35-24. Oregon is winning 35-24. They're playing Stanford right now. So I'm not watching the game because I'm live with you guys, but I do have the box score sort of right in the corner. So as stuff happens, I will be sure to let you all know. Yes, y'all listen to Audrey. Audrey said like and subscribe, y'all. We are almost at 9,000 subscribers. Yeah, we are. We are almost there. And I can't thank y'all enough. y'all are really, really awesome. JB says, Quita, what about them Beavers? I mean, y'all, Oregon State is looking good. Man, you know, Oregon State is looking good. And they're probably going to get Stanford. They're off to a really good start right now. Reagan is doing really well for the Beavers. I think she has looks like she has 10 points right now. So yeah, we'll see. But y'all, Oregon State, y'all better not sleep on Oregon State. Even when we get to the NCAA championship, don't sleep on Oregon State, because they can get you. They can, and they might just get you. All right, moving on to the SEC. This is what y'all wanted to talk about. It feels like most of y'all are SEC fans. So we're gonna get into the SEC now. Y'all, just do a quick recap of how we got to where we got. We saw Kentucky beat Georgia in the first round, Florida beat Missouri in the first round, moving on to the second round, which happened yesterday. Now, these are games that happened on Thursday. Yesterday in the second round, we saw Texas A&M give Mississippi State that work, man. Got the dub over them. We saw Tennessee take it to Kentucky and got the dub on them as well. And we saw Auburn do their thing against Arkansas. Florida won against Vandy. And now today we are in the quarterfinals of the SEC tournament. Guys, and the thing to note, if you don't know about these tournaments, it's you're playing every day. So the SEC tournament started on Wednesday. So Wednesday was the first round. Yesterday, which was Thursday, was the second round. Today, which is Friday, is the quarterfinals. And then tomorrow is the semifinals. Guys, this is back to back to back to back to back. They call it March Madness for a reason, y'all, because there are games back to back to back in conference play. Now, guys, when we get to the NCAA tournament, the games are there's 1 day in between the games, so there is a little bit of a break for the NCAA tournament. But for the SEC tournament, there is no break. It is hard fought games every single game. You're playing back to back to back. Against, you're waiting in the wing, ready to go for the other game to be over, and then you hurry up and getting on the court and warming up and all that good stuff. And then you're doing it again the next day. Like, this is a mental and physical battle. Conference play it is not for the faint of heart. And y'all, we've seen some great games today. Y'all, we saw Tennessee, do their thing against Alabama. Tennessee is a team that can be good, but Tennessee, I think a lot of times they kind of just do whatever they want to do. Sometimes the games is in hand for Tennessee, and then they just sort of let it go. But today they did get the dub over. Today they did get the dub over Alabama. Now, I think that Tennessee likely won't make it any further than where they're at right now. But, they did their thing today. So if y'all didn't watch the game happened earlier this morning. So Tennessee won 83-61, and Rakia Jackson did her thing. But y'all, Jewel Spear did her thing in this game and was really, really impactful for getting Tennessee the dub. But of course, Rakia Jackson did her thing with 22 points. But yeah, David says, come on, Quita. We all know Tennessee lacks the killer instinct. Yeah, you're right. You're right, David. I think that's the thing. Like, there are times where they look good, and then it's just like they just sort of stop playing. And then they leave, then they just have Rakia Jackson sort of be on an island and then don't look good. But today they did their thing. And got the dub against Alabama. And Alabama is not a scrub team. Alabama was not a scrub team at all. And Tennessee gave them the work. So congrats to Tennessee for making it and living to live another day. All right, guys, we have some other games that happened today. We have South Carolina, who got the dub against Texas A&M. Now, South Carolina, this game is, like a normal South Carolina game, kind of. I would say that South Carolina didn't play that great, in my opinion, but they're just better than everybody else, and they still got the dub. They still got the dub, even though they didn't play that good. But I think when we talk about a team like South Carolina, that's what it takes, right? That's what it takes. They won 79-68, and y'all, as I was watching this game, I was like, can Texas A&M get this dub? Can Texas A&M beat South Carolina? Like, I really thought that was a chance. I thought that was a possibility, but clearly it didn't happen. It didn't happen. This fan, thank you so much for the super chat. This fan says Sarah Puckett looked unstoppable against Kentucky. Yeah, So here's the thing. I like Sarah Puckett, but it's the consistency for me. I think she can play well at times, and then other times it's just like it feels like she wasn't even there. And I think that as we head further into the SEC conference tournament play, and as we head into the NCAA tournament, Tennessee needs Sarah Puckett to be consistent, right? You need Rakia Jackson, you need Jewel Spear, you need Sarah Puckett to show up and show out, And I just think that's going to be key for the future success of this Tennessee team. Let's see. Let's continue to talk about this Texas A&M and South Carolina game. So I will say that this game is very, very close throughout. I thought that Texas A&M did a fantastic job of helping to they did a good job of sort of frustrating South Carolina. Like South Carolina they were kind of frustrated in this game. They weren't really hitting as many shots as we expected them to in terms of their defense. Their defense wasn't great in this game. But the reason why they got the dub was because Texas A&M couldn't hit a shot to save their life. There were periods in this game that I was watching. I was like, come on, y'all. Like Texas A&M went stretches of missed shot after missed shot after missed shot after missed shot. And I'm like, y'all, South Carolina is giving y'all an opportunity. If they are giving y'all an opportunity to win this game and y'all cannot hit a shot. And I think that what? Joe says I keep thinking you're gonna say Jewel Lloyd. Oh, for Spear. Okay. I was like, wait, what? Anyway, this game wasn't that great for South Carolina. It wasn't. Y'all saw Dawn Staley getting in on her players on the bench. The camera would they would be coming back from break or whatever, and they would show Dawn Staley just like lighting it into her players because they weren't playing good. Like this was a game that South Carolina was off. They were bad in terms of taking care of the ball. Shooting, they shot 51%, so all right. But they had 24 turnovers in this game. Like that is unacceptable for a Dawn Staley-led team. Yes, they got the dub, absolutely. But if Texas A&M was able to hit some shots, South Carolina would have got today. They would have got today if Texas A&M would have made some shots. And, that they gonna get it together. I guess luckily for those players, they don't have a day break. I mean, they don't have a day in between playing tomorrow. Because if they did, I guarantee you Dons would have made them run. Oh man. Nola says, Quita, you thought South Carolina was gonna embarrass Texas. I did. I really did. I thought this game was gonna be a blowout. I really did. And Texas A&M was like, nah, this ain't gonna be a blowout. This ain't gonna be a blowout at all. We're gonna show up. We're gonna play some defense, and we're gonna make it happen. You had Koulibaly for Texas A&M. This girl usually averages like 12 points a game. She had 30. Well, she had 30. How many points she had? She had 30 something. She had 32 points in this game for Texas A&M. Janiah Barker didn't have the most efficient game, but she I thought she did a pretty decent job, just sort of staying down. Yeah, she got fouled out of this game, but like overall, this was a winnable game for Texas A&M. This was a very winnable game. However, you have to hit shots. You have to hit shots. If you want to beat the best of the best, you got to play your best. And I thought defensively, Texas A&M did a good job. Offensively, you just couldn't shoot. Like they were 36% from the field today. You can't beat South Carolina with stats like that. You can't beat them with stats like that. You can't. But guys, if y'all can hit that like button, that would be fantastic. Y'all, we got about 300 people in the chat. I appreciate y'all for joining. If y'all can hit that like button, that would be awesome. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. We make content all about women's basketball. That's all we do. All we do is talk about women's basketball all day, all night. And we don't focus on one particular team. This channel talks about all the different teams. We talk about all the different conferences. And we have a good time discussing the game together. So if y'all are into that, please hit that subscribe button. That would be absolutely fantastic. And hit that like button if you haven't already. All right. Nolan says the next 3 years with Tessa, I assume you mean Tessa Johnson, is going to be special. The whole world is going to know soon enough. Y'all, Tessa Johnson is a really good player. She is a really good player. I assume, Nolan, that's who you're talking about. But yeah, she is a really good player. JB says, I think Don knew if they were playing a better team today, they would have probably lost given the way they played. Yeah. Yes, they would have got today. They would have got today. And, you know, I think that I think maybe this is a wake-up call for them to, hey, y'all got to play better. Y'all have to play better. Y'all have to play better. Ghostam says, goes both ways. Texas A&M could have shot better, but South Carolina could have taken care of the ball better. Yes. Had Texas A&M shot better, they would have won. Had South Carolina taken care of the ball better, it would have been a blowout. So, yeah. Shout out to David for the super chat. Whoa, that's a huge super chat. Thank you so much. David says, feels good to support your channel. Keep doing what you do. Thank you, Quita. David, thank you so much. Wow, that is super generous. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. David, what'd you think about the games that was today? Did you watch any of the games? Let's see. David says, want to stay, but Michigan Indiana game is about to start, and I can't watch two things. Keep up the great content. Understandable, David. Understandable. All good here. All good here. Yep, y'all listen to Joe. Joe said, hit like and subscribe, people. Our goal is 10,000 by the time the tournament starts. Yep, that is the goal. So yeah, we'll see. We got a week left. We got a week to go. Malik says, your dominant when a team not getting blown out is surprising. Oh man. Endell says Auburn players are too physical. All right, do y'all want to move over to talk about LSU, or do y'all want to keep talking about South Carolina versus Texas? Let me know in the chat if y'all want to move over to talk about that LSU Auburn game, or stay on with South Carolina versus Texas A&M. Now, I will just say that when we look at games like this for South Carolina, yes, rough game, absolutely rough game. But it just continues to just show how good this team is. It just shows how good they are, where, the fact that they didn't destroy Texas A&M, and the fact that the game was pretty close. I mean, 79-68 is not the closest of games, but it's pretty close. It is pretty close. I thought that South. Oh my goodness, that's funny. That's all C says. Let's talk about the wrestling match. All right, y'all. Let's stop talking about South Carolina, and y'all, let's get into the wrestling match, y'all. Let's talk about the wrestling match. So today, in the purple corner, in the purple and gold corner, we had the LSU Tigers, and in the red corner, we had the Auburn Tigers. It was a fight to the finish. It was a knockdown, drag out, fall on the floor fight. But at the end of the day, LSU destroyed Auburn. At the end of the day, LSU destroyed Auburn 78-48. Now, guys, this was a game. And not so much in terms of not so much in terms of wondering who was going to win, because we knew in the first 6 minutes of this game, we knew who was going to win this game. We knew who was going to win. We knew that LSU was going to destroy Auburn. We knew it because Auburn. I can't even remember exactly when Auburn actually scored. The game was like 21 to 2 or something in that first quarter. And it was like, yes, of course, LSU is going to win this game. But the thing that made this game entertaining was the fact that you had player after player after player, specifically on LSU, hit the floor. This was y'all know that song "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor"? It's like, let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor, let the bodies hit the floor. Like I'm telling you guys, that was what was on the court. That was so lame. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, that was absolutely what made this game so entertaining, was the fact that just player after player was falling. At one point, I thought that maybe Anissa Morrow might have broken a rib or something because she got elbowed there. You had Aaliyah Del Rosario do an elbow and get hit with the intentional foul. You saw Angel Reese mess up her ankle. We saw Haley Van Lith hit the floor. We saw Flau'jae Johnson hit the floor and limp off the court to just try to come right back in. This was. Y'all, we saw last year Poa hit the floor. Like, there were so many bodies that hit the floor in this game. And y'all, I just need somebody to somebody to make a video compilation using that "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor" song of this game. I would love to see it, because it was so many people who failed. But the thing that I really want to talk about with this LSU versus Auburn game is the fact that Ashley said, Quita, I remember that song, early 2000s. I mean, I haven't heard that song in years, but that was the first, when I was watching this game, that was the first thing that popped in my head. That was the first thing that popped in my head, y'all. But yeah, there's some stuff I wanted to talk about with this game. So first of all, I wanted to talk about how Auburn couldn't hit a shot to save their life in this game. And yes, LSU was playing great. But Auburn just couldn't shoot. They just couldn't shoot. And it showed, it didn't seem like they really had any confidence in their shot. And they were stifled by LSU's defense. And now this is something that, as we've continued to see LSU play, I feel like they've gotten better and better and better when it comes to defense. And even to the fact where you see, of course, Big Foe, Flau'jae Johnson, yes, their best defender, but you're also seeing great defensive plays by Lastier Poa. Great defensive plays by Haley Van Lith, by, of course, Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow. And that is something that is continuing to build for this team. It's continuing to build for this team. And I think that that sort of perpetuated this severe loss by Auburn, or by LSU defeating Auburn. They won by 30 points because you had LSU defending basically the entire possession. And it wasn't just Big Foe doing it defensively. It was everybody. It was everybody. And y'all, I want to just say a couple things that I thought was like pretty. That was a sign of what this game really was. The fact that honestly, Scott Grayson, one of Auburn's best players, only had 4 points in this game. Jemiah Mingo Young only had 8 points in this game. And it was the defense against these players that did it, right? And that was something that I believe it was after the game. They were talking to Flau'jae Johnson about it, and she was like, yeah, we locked them up. She was like they I forgot who exactly she was guarding. She was like, she only scored 2 points against me, so I did my job. You know, Coach Starkey was happy with her. Coach Starkey was very happy, very happy. Shout out to Mitch for the super chat. I really do appreciate that, Mitch. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the financial support. Officer Davis says, Gamecocks fan here, but LSU looking scary. I think Poa and Haley Van Lith look good together. South Carolina starting out too slow. Yeah. I mean, Officer Davis, you better hope that Don Staley lights a fire in her team. Because I think Tennessee is going to give them more of a run for their money than Texas A&M did. And we saw how Tennessee almost got South Carolina earlier this year when they played. Yes, South Carolina won, but it was a very close game against Tennessee. Like if you actually watched the game, it was a very close game. And so we'll see. We'll see what Tennessee can do. Yeah, we will absolutely see. But yeah, LSU is off to a really good start. And they were focused from the get-go. And it wasn't just defensively, but it really was. It seemed like defense sort of like spurred their offense, which spurred better defense. And y'all, I do have to give just a shout out to Flau'jae Johnson, Big Foe, because we talk about how defensively this girl is just out of this world, really good. But y'all, offensively, Flau'jae Johnson took over the whole first half. She took over. And she had 25 points in this game. And a lot of that was in the first half. It was just a Big Foe getting bucket after bucket after bucket after bucket. And it wasn't anything forced. At least early on in the game, it wasn't anything forced. It was rhythm shots. And that's what you need to see, right? If you're LSU. Because we know Flau'jae Johnson can score. We know she can. But this is the best, I believe this is the best scoring she had all year in today's game. And it was all about defense spurring fantastic offense and getting players good looks offensively. It wasn't just jacking up anything, though at one point they were just sort of jacking up shots outside, from the 3-point line and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure Mulkey got into them about stop doing it. But overall, I thought LSU played great. I don't know how much better LSU could have played. I thought they played really good. And if they continue this, specifically if we see Haley Van Lith continue to play defense the way she's playing defense. I mean, LSU is looking pretty special right now. When you look at the LSU roster, like in the past, you could say that, yeah, attack Haley Van Lith, attack her, attack her when she's on defense because you can exploit that. But today you couldn't exploit it today. You couldn't. Because not only was she playing some pretty good defense, it was also help defense that was making stuff happen as well. And it helped the fact that Auburn couldn't hit a shot to save their life. That helped too. But I think the defense led Auburn to shooting frustration type shots. I think that's really what it was. It wasn't that they was having like really good looks and just missing it. It was the fact that it seemed that they were frustrated on defense, and it led them to jacking up shots and hitting and shooting shots that were not in rhythm and shots that they should not have taken. And of course, missing those shots. So guys, I do want to hear what y'all have to say about this game. I do want to hear what y'all have to say because I thought we saw a pretty solid game from LSU. I mean, and they are kind of peaking at the right time. They are. Ashley said, did y'all know Michaela was hurt before today? I saw she had a boot on one of her foots on their TikTok yesterday. She has plantar fasciitis. I put out a video about it earlier today. But yeah, she has plantar fasciitis. And that's a foot problem that all you can really do is rest it. that is all you can really do is rest your foot. You can't really do anything else with it. So yeah, she does. I believe she didn't have the boot on today, but yeah, she had regular shoes on today, and I think that she's likely not going to play for the tournament. And it's in LSU's best interest for her not to play in the SEC tournament and have her just ready for resting that foot for the actual NCAA tournament. Edwin said Auburn started playing football mid-game. That's funny. That's funny. Mitch says, I think Quita is going to be a top channel and grow as women's basketball explodes in the next few years. Let's go. Oh, that would be fantastic. Mitch, speak it into existence, Mitch. Speak it into existence. That'd be great. That would be absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Ghost Sam says, if they meet in the finals, we'll see. It's 1-0 South Carolina over LSU right now, and LSU gave them their best at home. Yeah. I mean, we will see. We will see. We will see because it does seem likely. Again, guys, South Carolina plays Tennessee tomorrow, and LSU will either play Florida or Ole Miss, likely Ole Miss tomorrow. And then the winners of those games will make it to the final. So it's very likely that we can see a South Carolina versus LSU SEC championship final. That would be pretty great. But guys, before we end this conversation about LSU versus Auburn, I do want to talk about the big news that happened in today's game. Angel Reese hurting her ankle. Now, this is something that she earlier in the game today, they taped her foot, they retaped her foot. And then later on in the game, she had a severe tweak to her ankle. Her ankle was like, it was like going down, and all of a sudden, she got off the court. They helped her to a bike, and she spent basically the rest of the game sort of like off and on riding on a bike. I think that when we talk about this LSU team, again, they live and die by Angel Reese. Angel Reese is the heart and soul and emotional leader of this team, and I think that we'll have to see if how much Angel can go, because we know that Angel Reese is going to give it all she can. She's going to give it all that she can in any game. Like, she's going to, if she's like, 80% ready to go, she's going to play, right? She hobbled to the bench, and she, we'll see what happens from now on. We'll see what happens with Angel Reese. She's just sort of sitting, resting right now, resting that ankle. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. We'll see if she plays. She likely will play. But we do know one thing for sure is that Aaliyah Del Rosario has to be ready. She has to be ready tomorrow because this LSU team is going to rely a lot on Aaliyah Del Rosario. She is, one of the main rotational pieces. So far, it really has been Lastier Poa and Aaliyah Del Rosario coming off the bench for LSU. Now that Michaela Williams is out with plantar fasciitis, it's just like Aaliyah Del Rosario is the main bench player coming off the bench. Yes, today Janae Kent did have some minutes in this game, and some of the other bench players had some minutes, but it really is Aaliyah Del Rosario as the main bench player right now with Lastier Poa starting. So if Angel Reese is limited in the game tomorrow, Aaliyah Del Rosario is going to have to show up and show out for this team to get the dub. And that's something that I am very interested to see sort of what happens from here on out, because Aaliyah Del Rosario, she's no Angel Reese, right? She's a good player. She plays soft. She's a lot tougher than she was earlier in the season, and I have to give her props for that. She is a lot tougher than she was, but she's a lot softer than Angel. She doesn't have Angel's motor, and also she gets in a lot of foul trouble. So I think you're gonna have to worry about that. Miss Peach says Angel said she's good to play tomorrow. She said her ankle tweaks sometimes. I hope she stays healthy. Well, thanks so much, Miss Peach, for that info. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think I wonder, we may be able to watch sorry, 1 second, guys. Cause we might be able to watch part of the post game conversation with LSU. Actually, guys, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a look at what LSU had to say post game. Edwin said, "Kim grabs her pants." when Angel went down, probably. DD in Tennessee says, if you're in a W city, tickets are very reasonable. $3,000 for courtside seats in Atlanta over 10 years and a lot of sacrifice, but it is worth it. Yeah, shout out DD in Tennessee for getting those season tickets. I mean, one day I hope to get courtside tickets. My tickets are pretty close, ish. But yeah, one day I would love to get courtside tickets. But y'all, if y'all don't have WNBA tickets, y'all, I posted yesterday's a clip of yesterday's rant that I had. I posted a clip of that as like a separate video today. So if y'all haven't watched it, I highly recommend y'all watch it. It's an appeal for people to support the WNBA, and not for like people who don't care about the WNBA to support it, but it's an appeal for people who say that they support the WNBA and say that they love the WNBA. It's an appeal for them to put their money where their mouth is and actually support the WNBA. So that was what the rant was basically all about. Yeah. So anyway, I do want to feature a clip from today's interview with LSU, their post game interview, so we can hear directly from Angel Reese herself how she feels. Right. So we're gonna get into that. We're going to get into that right now. But guys, if y'all get that like button, that would be absolutely, absolutely fantastic. That'd be so fantastic. All right, guys, let's move on over to LSU press conference. Oh, wait. Where's my sound?
Just what are you looking to do tomorrow, or are you just focused on your team rather than focusing on the opponent?
Of course, just resting up tonight, going back and watching film of the mistakes, but also just moving on and watching this game. We're going to go out there and watch the game, of course, playing either Ole Miss again or Florida again. Both teams, physical teams, athletic teams, so we'll see who we're playing.
Perfect. Thank you, Angel. And then, Flage, again, like you already mentioned, you had a great game tonight. How are you looking to carry over that momentum to tomorrow and just the rest of March?
I mean, it's just like whatever I got to do. Like, I got to rebound. I got to play defense. Like, I had 4 steals tonight, so I was super excited about that. But, whatever I got to do for the team, like we down a man in Michaela, you know what I'm saying? And she is a big part of whatever we do. So just kind of picking up that slack for her, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, until she come back.
Perfect. Thank you both.
Young lady in the back.
Chessa Boucher with NBC 33 in Baton Rouge. Angel, you guys made a statement coming out of the gate like that. Was there a little bit of, I don't want to say revenge, but was it your intention and your, as a team, of making a statement for the world to see?
Of course, playing a team 3 times is hard because both teams know each other's strengths and each other's weaknesses. I think tonight we kind of wanted to know and show who the real Tigers were. So just being able to come out and execute. Honesty is a great player. In both games, she killed us. So being able to first half and not have her score, and then I think she only scored the last fourth quarter in 4 minutes, she would be able to score 2 buckets. So being able to take things personal, it's March now. So it's either win or go home. And I told the team before the game, win or go home, win or go home. So I think we just locked in and focused on defense and our less turnovers, and then we came out on top.
Now, y'all, that was part of what Angel Reese had to say in that post-game presser. And guys, I love it when we see this version of Angel Reese, because this is Angel Reese, y'all. But this isn't the Angel Reese that I feel like is always shown a lot. We talk about the Bayou Barbie and talk about her popularity and whatnot. But this girl, she means business, y'all. She wants to win. She's like, hey, we wanted to show y'all who the real Tigers were. You got the Auburn Tigers, you got the LSU Tigers. She's saying LSU is the real Tigers. We the real Tigers over here. And we wanted to show up and show out and play a game that was better than we played last time, right? We wanted to improve on the game that we played last time. We know that honestly, Scott Grayson killed us. We gonna make sure she don't kill us this time. We showed that full points from her. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, this is, this is that dog in Angel Reese, and I think it's fun. Mitch says serious basketball student version. Yeah. She's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I think this is the Angel that I don't think gets talked about a lot. Angel Reese is a student of the game of basketball. She is a player who wants to win, and she is a player who will sacrifice and do whatever it takes to get a dub. And I personally love watching players like that just, they want to win. It's business. She's in the business of winning. And I think it's fun. I think it is absolutely fun to watch a player do just that. Obviously David says Angel is a competitor. Gotta love it. Yeah, man. You have to love it. Yeah. Jimmy said this is why people fell in love with her. Yes, but then also, like, I think there's a lot of people who became fans of Angel Reese and still don't understand this side of her. They're into the celebrity version of Angel, which is great. Absolutely great. But I think sometimes people sleep on the fact that Angel Reese is a competitor, a darn good competitor at that. I just wanted to call that out. I just wanted to call that out. All right, let's get a little bit more of that post game interview.
Are there any more questions for student athletes?
Speaking of honesty, kind of being clamped down, Haley Van Lith did quite a job on her. What did you see from her tonight?
Her confidence is building within our defense. And her coming to LSU, she said she wanted to focus on defense, and I think she's done a great job transitioning into that. I mean, point guard offensively is, of course, tough, but her sliding her feet, she works hard every day. So I'm really happy for Haley because everybody on the outside that doubts her, and I just try to give her as much confidence as we can because we do need her. We need every single person, but being able to have a confident point guard is just something you need because, of course, we had Alexis Morris last year, so it's a tough pickup to clean up.
All right, Pete.
Pete Yakabelli with the Associated Press. Angel, how confident is this group now? I mean, you've got 9 wins in a row and heading in here and playing at a really high level.
Yeah, I think we're in a really good place right now. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows where to get each other the ball, where to help each other on defense. So it's no time like now, no time like March. We had a couple hiccups in the beginning of the season. Our first loss right off the bat, that Colorado loss humbled us. A couple losses in our regular season. So we got humbled at the right point. But right now it's March time. And like I said, it's win or go home. So we're in a great place for our team and just understanding what it's going to take to win. And we have great leadership by our vets. And just being able to keep the team together is just something that's important right now.
Yeah, guys, that's what Angel Reese had to say, man. Like I think this is leader Angel Reese that's just like, doing her thing. Yeah, this is a different team than we saw earlier this season. This is a different LSU team. This is an LSU team that is determined. This is an LSU team that is ready to make some noise in the postseason, and it's absolutely fun to watch. That is absolutely fun to watch. Tiana says Angel and Haley Van Lith have never beaten South Carolina, even at their previous schools. Okay, sure, but no time like the present. Just because a team didn't beat somebody else doesn't mean they won't beat them in the future. I mean, again, I'm gonna say this. I'm a say the line again. I know that people are not gonna like it, but I'm gonna say it again. Iowa hadn't beaten South Carolina until they beat them in the Final Four. You don't have to have a track record of beating someone to get them. As I say, anybody can get got. It don't matter if you beat a team 18 times in a row. That 19th time, they can get you. They can get you in that 19th time. So you better be ready. So I think the idea that just because they haven't beat them before doesn't mean they won't beat them in the future. I think that's sure, you can infer some stuff from that. You can absolutely infer some stuff from that, but it's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. Anybody can get got at any time. We saw that today with Ohio State. We saw it today. We're going to see it more in the future. Anybody can get got, including South Carolina, including LSU, including UConn, including Stanford, including Oregon State, including UCLA, including Notre Dame, including, I don't know, who else you want to say? Anybody can get got. I don't care who you are. Anybody can get got. Dre. Yeah. Ohio State get got. Tina says there is no rivalry. I don't think there's a rivalry between South Carolina and LSU. I don't think there's a rivalry. No. I think the fan base of South Carolina wants to beat LSU, and I think the fan base of LSU wants to beat South Carolina. But I don't think there's an actual rivalry, though. I think it's just it's a fight for notoriety in the SEC and in the NCAA as a whole. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is. It's not a rivalry, though. I think it's an issue with like South Carolina is a team that has been dominant for years, but in large part, South Carolina didn't get half well, they probably get half. They didn't get the level of notoriety and fame and all the stuff that came from it that that LSU got last year when they won the championship. And so I think from what I've seen from South Carolina fans, from South Carolina's fans that I've seen on the internet, both YouTube, Twitter, Reddit, all those different places, it feels like they felt some type of way about the attention that certain teams get, the attention that LSU got after winning the championship, the attention that Iowa got after beating them but still losing in the NCAA championship game. Like there is a ton of notoriety that these other teams have that South Carolina does not have, or they feel that they don't have. And it seems like there is, it's not a rivalry, but it feels like the fan base of South Carolina, they just, they feel some type of way. They feel some type of way. Oh man. Kyra says if the wigs ain't flying, you ain't trying. Dude, I that's a good saying. I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. JB says LSU/South Carolina is not a rivalry. It's just social media beef between the fan bases. Yes, I agree with that. Yes, I absolutely agree with that. Mitch says, disappointed in the lack of broadcast coverage of all the games. Hope that changes. I can't subscribe to Big Ten Network, Peacock, FS1, SEC Network, Fubo. It's hard to find games unless you have a big wallet. So I will say this, Mitch, that won't change. That will not change, having it on different platforms. However, with the Pac-12 going away, you will not need Fubo TV anymore. I would recommend. I'm not sponsored by them. I wish I was. I need to get sponsors. I need to figure that out, man. Anyway, I would recommend you get YouTube TV. I have YouTube TV, and I can watch just about every game I need to, with the exception of Pac-12 games because I have to have Fubo for that. But next year, Fubo, Pac-12 network will not exist anymore. But you can watch ACC Network, SEC Network, all the various ESPN channels. Fox Sports, CBS Sports, all that stuff. You can watch it on YouTube TV. And then I also have a separate subscription for Peacock because you have to, if you want to watch some of the Big Ten Network games, you have to have Peacock nowadays. So I would recommend you to do that next year, but that's not going to change. Everybody wants a piece of the pie, and everybody wants you to get their particular app or like network or whatever. So that's not going to change. So I recommend you just making a decision to get a aggregator type streamer that gives you the most sports channels. Also, YouTube, Hulu Plus Live Sports also can get you basically the same deal that YouTube TV can in terms of the sports channel. So if you don't like YouTube TV, you could just go with Hulu Plus Live Sports. You can go with that, and that'll help you out. Kyra says, definitely zero media coverage on anything besides Iowa's Caitlin Clark. I mean, yeah, there's not a ton of coverage about other. I mean, well, I would say if it's not about Caitlin Clark, it's about LSU. But yeah, I get you. I get you on that front, and I think that is why I continue to say that I think it's important for us to make our own narratives as fans. I think it's up to us. If they're not covering players that we like the most, let's make our own stuff. And let's make them cover it, right? If we the reason why they started paying attention to Caitlin Clark anyway, because there was a groundswell of people going hard for Caitlin Clark. And then the networks were like, okay, we're going to start covering it. And every time they did, it was like clickbait. Like all of a sudden they got crazy amounts of views and they were like, okay, we're going to keep doing this. Let's blast her everywhere. I think let's us as fans do that. Let's build a groundswell of support for players that we like, right? Let's do it. Juju Juju got the talent. Let's skyrocket that, right? Let's skyrocket that, and let's make it let's make her even bigger than she is right now. Especially as she especially as the Pac-12 sort of dissolves. I think it's again I think it's up to us, and I honestly that's what I'm trying to do here is trying to give more narratives than just Caitlin Clark. There's lots of other players that are balling. I mean, she's balling too, but like there's lots of other players and lots of other narratives that we need to talk about. And hopefully, if we start to do it here, that eventually we'll get the other people, we'll get the networks and the people who actually have money and actually have power, we'll get them to start caring and actually start covering. Because who knows? Maybe we'll have a Hannah Cam next season. Maybe we'll have a Hannah Cam. Maybe we'll have a Tahina Pow Pow Cam on the SEC network or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we'll have that next year. But it takes us to make that happen. But yeah, no shade to Caitlin Clark at all. But yeah, I think there is more. It's more than just her. It's more than just her, and she would agree with that too, I think. Mitch says, love to see LSU versus South Carolina game. Would need Fubo or I believe the final SEC game is going to be on like one of the ESPN products, either ESPN or ESPN2. So you should be fine if they make it to the championship game. Kyra says, girl, why do you think I'm here? Appreciate you, Kyra. Appreciate you. Officer Davis says, if we watch, they will come. Yes. If we build it, they will come. If we build it, they will come. Yes. I am Joe says this Florida Ole Miss game is very close right now, guys. Let's go into that game real quick and let's see what's going on with that game. But guys, a quick update on the Oregon State. A quick update on that Oregon State versus Stanford game. Stanford is winning 54 to 51. They're in the fourth quarter with 7:20 left to go in the game. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, we are at halftime. We're at halftime for Ole Miss versus Florida. Ole Miss is losing by 1 point, 36-37 at halftime. That is a very close game. That is a very, very close game. But Coach Yo gonna probably pull something up a sleeve. Kentucky Lucky says a little about Juju lately on network. I've seen a little bit of stuff about Juju on ESPN. Yeah, I've seen a little bit. LSU Tiger 2 says, what up, Quita? My Tigers put South Carolina on notice. South Carolina fans, do y'all feel like y'all on notice? Do y'all feel like y'all on notice? Let me know, guys. I mean, yeah, they should be looking at them. That in my opinion, they should be looking at them. Miss Peach says, I heard there's a new guard coming to Iowa next year. She's supposed to be a shooter and a great overall point guard. I'll look into it. David, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all. Michaela says, like I said, that Caitlin Cam needs to go. I mean, I think they could implement it for various players. I think it's, if you want to do a cam focus on one player, occasionally just zoom out and show other players. That's all I got to say. Just show other players occasionally. Michaela says, I feel like that cam is so disrespectful to every other player on the floor. I guess. I don't know. I guess we'd have to ask some of the players to find out if they think that was disrespectful or not. Nola says media bias. Ashby says, so what's your thoughts on Ohio State being the better team over Iowa now? I knew Ohio State wasn't going to show up. I just didn't think it'd be so soon. Thought they'd make the championship game. Yeah, Iowa over Ohio State now. Ohio State has completely... I have lost the confidence I had in Ohio State. I thought they were looking pretty good. I thought that the personnel that they had on their team would show up in critical moments, and J.C. Sheldon and Cody McMahon didn't. And I lost my confidence in Ohio State. Yeah, Iowa is over Ohio State now. And Indiana might have just leapfrogged Ohio State too. So, yeah. Linda has a point here. Linda says Caitlin's freshman year was all about Paige. Yep, that was the year that Paige Beckers won the Player of the Year. That should have been a career competition between them, but Paige got hurt. Yep. Oh, Officer Davis says he believes that Ole Miss is going to lose. Okay. All right. We'll see what happens. I will absolutely. Oh my God, guys, I am tired. I am tired. Yeah. Yeah, guys, if you don't know, now you know. Ryan Howard does coach at Florida, and Natisha Heidemann coaches at Penn State. If you didn't know, and oh my goodness, the former Chicago Sky, now Minnesota Lynx player, coaches at TCU. I'm blanking on her name. She just had a baby. Ruthie Hebert. Ruthie Hebert coaches at TCU. Kyra says Ohio State is playing the long game. Really? You losing the way they did today is the long game? That's the long game? Officer Davis says Ohio State down is trending downward at the wrong time. LSU is uptrending, and as a South Carolina fan, I have concerns. Fair enough. Guys, I do want to. I'm so sorry, Officer Davis. I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I just assumed. My bad. Officer Tamika Davis. I'm so sorry. Officer Davis. Oh, I froze again? Did I freeze again, Kyra? Oh, no. All right. Well, okay. Well, maybe I did freeze again. I don't know. I'm not sure if I froze again. Okay. Anyway, I do want to quickly go to an ACC update before we. I want to do the ACC and I want to do the Pac-12. So here's what we have right now for the ACC. We've had some more games, more teams lost. So today we had the quarterfinals, and we saw Notre Dame take down Louisville. We saw Virginia Tech without Elizabeth Kidley beat the Miami Hurricanes, and we know the Miami Hurricanes yesterday. They beat they beat UNC, and we also saw there be a very, very close game between NC State and Duke, but NC State pulled out the dub and beat Duke. Y'all, I thought Duke was about to win this game. I really did, but couldn't make it happen at the end of the day. And guys, the Syracuse and Florida State game is happening right now, so we'll find out. We'll find out later today who actually wins. Who actually is that game still happening? Oh, actually no, I'm sorry. Looks like that game just ended, and Florida State beat Syracuse. Wow. Okay. Upset alert. Florida State beat Syracuse. Wow. All right. Florida State won 78-65. Looks like the game must have ended as we were doing the live. So yeah, I'll update that later. So tomorrow we will see Notre Dame versus Virginia Tech. Again, remember Elizabeth Kidley was out today. She likely will be out tomorrow as well. So Notre Dame versus Virginia Tech tomorrow, which is Saturday at noon on ACC Network. We will also see NC State go against Florida State. And that game is at 2:30 p.m. on ACC Network as well. Now, I'm not really sure who's going to get that dub. Notre Dame versus Virginia Tech. And the reason why I say that is because I think the fact that Elizabeth Kidley is out for Virginia Tech, assuming that she doesn't play in that game, I think that, there's a chance that Notre Dame can actually pull up the upset, right, and win the game. If Elizabeth Kidley is back and she's looking good, then I think Virginia Tech will win. So it just depends on Kidley's status. It really just depends on Kidley's status. Officer Tamika Davis says, if Kidley doesn't return, I got Notre Dame taking it all. NC State is too inconsistent. They are inconsistent. They are. When Strong signs with them, they're going to be a fool with Strong. Just my prediction. I can be wrong. You think Sarah Strong is going to sign with NC State? You think you think she's going to sign with NC State? Tim says Kidley won't play for the total AC tournament. KA says Hidalgo wants a title. I want to see her take it too. Yeah, y'all, Hannah Hidalgo is a dog. A straight up dog, man. I love watching Hannah Hidalgo play. Like, she has an intensity. She has an intensity, and she has like a scowl on her face at times. It's bowling. And I love it. I absolutely love to watch her play. She is very, very special and very, very fun to watch. If Kidley's out, is very well could be Notre Dame beating Virginia Tech. I think Florida State, they just got Syracuse. I think they might just get NC State tomorrow. NC State is similar to what Officer Davis said. NC State is an inconsistent team. They have been inconsistent as of late, and I think they're probably going to get got. I think they're probably going to get got, and we may very well see in the championship game. We very well may see Notre Dame versus Florida State for the ACC title. Now, if that happens, that would be, pretty phenomenal. You'll have the number 4 team versus the number 6 team in the ACC. So, we'll see what happens. But with Elizabeth Kidley possibly out, who knows? We might see that happen. Let's see. I do want to also give you all a glimpse at the Pac-12. So let's look at the Pac-12 real quick. So the Pac-12 is underway right now. Of course, again, just like everybody else, it is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and then championship. For the Pac-12, we saw Colorado beat Oregon in that first round on Wednesday. We saw Washington State go down to Cal. We saw Arizona beat Washington, and we saw Utah beat Arizona State. In the games yesterday, we saw Oregon State get Colorado. Y'all, Oregon State is just very good. Y'all better watch out for Oregon State. We had Stanford beat Cal. We saw USC beat Arizona, and in a not so great game for USC, they still beat Arizona. And we saw UCLA beat Utah. And so now today we're at today's day of games. And guys, shout out to LSU Tiger 2. Thank you so much for the super chat. LSU Tiger 2 says best women's basketball coverage on YouTube. Thank you so much. I don't take that lightly. That is like a massive compliment, because there are a lot of people on YouTube who cover women's. I mean, there's not a ton, but there's a good amount of women's basketball people who talk about YouTube, right? And that is a gigantic compliment, and I am very, very much appreciative of that. You guys are what makes this channel and what makes the coverage what it is. You guys are what make it all happen. You absolutely are. So you are the. Oh my God, I have like songs in my head. I was thinking about that like you're a star. Never mind. Anyway, let me stop. I was thinking about like Sing 2, like the song in Sing. Anyway. All right. Thank you so much, LSU Tiger 2, for the super chat. I appreciate it. And guys, I don't take that compliment lightly. I really don't. I appreciate it. But you guys are what make this coverage what it is. So thank you, LSU Tiger. Thank you to all the other folks who rock with me. And subscribe, like, super chats, just posting in the chat. Like it's phenomenal, dude. Like y'all some rock stars, man. Y'all are what make this channel what it is. Absolutely what makes this channel what it is. Mitch says you take the time to cover it well. Thumbs up on your graphics, videos. Great job. Thank you. Y'all don't know how long it took me to make these bracket graphics. That's why I couldn't do. I wanted to do more graphics of like the Big East and like all the other conferences. But y'all, it take a lot of time. It take a whole lot of time to make this stuff happen, man. It takes a whole lot of time, and unfortunately, I couldn't make it for everybody, but I tried. I tried. I'm at least do the main ones. And then we'll talk about some of the other games as they come about. Shayna says, "Did you ever play basketball?" Yeah, I did. Yep. I did play basketball. I played basketball all throughout being a kid. My dad built a makeshift basketball court in our backyard. The concrete was rocky and it wasn't smooth, but we played basketball out there all the time. I played basketball basically my entire life. And then it's too short, so I didn't play in college. But yeah, I love the game of basketball. All right, guys, let's talk about the Pac-12, guys. So the Pac-12 is, in my opinion, you guys may disagree with this, but in my opinion, it is the strongest conference in the NCAA right now. This is the conference where everything happens, right? everything happens in this conference. We have seen tough battles. We have seen a bunch of sort of like low scoring games, defensive minded teams, right? And when you look at the Pac-12, there isn't like, sure, yes, you have the likes of, Stanford that's really good, Oregon State, USC, Utah, UCLA that are like sort of at the top of the league, but you also have the others like in Arizona who can get you, like a Washington State that can get you, like a Colorado that can get you. There are so many top teams in the Pac-12. It is just wild. And guys, that is why the Pac-12 has been such a fun conference to watch when it came to tournament play, because we saw how wild the regular season was for the Pac-12. Like, this tournament play is crazy, absolutely crazy. So guys, we saw Oregon State beat Colorado, Stanford beat Cal, USC beat Arizona, UCLA beat Utah, and today we have seen Stanford play against Oregon State. Now, guys, this game is over. This game recently ended. So we saw Stanford beat Oregon State. Stanford won 66-57. So I will update this graphic. This game literally ended as we were doing the stream, so I haven't updated it yet, but I will update it. Yeah, guys, Oregon State is out of the Pac-12 tournament. Of course, they're going to be in the NCAA tournament because they're very good. They're a very good team. But yeah, Stanford was able to get the job done again, 66-57. Now, when it came to who showed up and showed out for this team, of course, it is of course always Cameron Brink, Kiki Irafen. Cameron had again a double-double in today's game. Kiki Irafen was close to it. She had 9 rebounds. But y'all, Hannah Jump did her thing in today's game with Stanford. Hannah Jump had 20 points in this game. She led her team in scoring. So it wasn't just sort of the post players who sort of did their thing. Hannah Jump did her thing as well. For Oregon State, Reagan had 17 points in this game. Tough battle when we see Oregon State go against Stanford, because they're both very, very, very good squads. But of course, someone had to win, and this time it ended up being Stanford. Now, we do have a game later today. USC versus UCLA. It is the U's going against each other. We will see who can win this game. I think in terms of the team that I give the edge to, I give the edge to UCLA. I give the edge to UCLA unless Juju Watkins goes off. If Juju Watkins goes off and scores like either somewhere between 35 to 50 points, then I think USC will win. But I think if Juju Watkins only, I'm gonna say only in quotation marks, if she only scores like 20 points, I think UCLA is going to win, because USC doesn't have the talent, in my opinion, to really keep up with UCLA unless UCLA has a really bad game, or unless Juju Watkins goes off. So we'll see what happens. We will absolutely see what happens in this game, guys. This is a very late game. So this game is actually going to start in about 40 minutes. All right. So the game is going to start at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. So y'all may be asleep at that time. So I'll update y'all tomorrow on what happened in this USC UCLA game. This game is going to be a big game to watch. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So guys, we know that Stanford is moving on to the championship game, which is on Sunday. And hey, we'll see who wins and who makes it further between USC and UCLA. Now, guys, I am curious to see if you all have any predictions on what will happen. Who do you think is going to win today's game between USC and UCLA? Let me know. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. Officer David says, and Ryan Marshall is going to have to come along for the ride. Yeah. Ryan Marshall has a lot of talent. It just seems like sometimes Ryan Marshall takes a back seat and she doesn't play up to her talent level. So yeah, that's something to think about. Hopefully she steps up. Hino Kamikai says, dang, why they got them babies up so late? Well, it's not that late. So here's the thing. It's 9:30 p.m. Central Time and 10:30 Eastern Time. But Pacific Time, which is where they're at, Pacific Time is 7:30. The game is at 7:30 Pacific Time. So it's actually not that late. For us, people who live in the Midwest or people who live on the East Coast, it is very late. And there's a lot of women's basketball fans in the Midwest and the East Coast. A lot. But this is Pacific Time. So it's 7:30 Pacific. I can't even say it. Pacific Time, 7:30. So yeah, it's not late. It's at least if you live there, it's not late. You know, in Vegas, it is not late. In Chicago, it's late. In Chicago, it is very late. Devin says, if the season ended right now, who would be on your first team All-America? Devin, I would need to write that out. I would need to write out who I would put on my list because I think if I like verbally say it, I'm going to miss some people in my head that I'm going to want to mention as an All-American player. I'm going to miss some people, but yeah, I'll write it out. But I mean, for sure, Cameron Brink is on there. For sure, Caitlin Clark is on there. I think that Hannah Hidalgo is a player who I would give a look to for like a second team or something like that. Just for what she's done on the defensive end. Reagan with Oregon State gets a look as well. Like I need to write that. I need to write it out because there's a lot of people swirling in my head, and I don't want to like put it out there that this is my list when I'm like just off the top of the dome. I really don't. I really want to write it out and actually like maybe I'll do like a specific video about it. JB says UCLA. Lee says UCLA. Okay. More UCLA. Okay. USC. Linda is giving an update on the Indiana-Michigan game. Linda says Indiana 35 versus Michigan at the half. How much does Michigan have then? Is it 35 all? Let's see. All right, it's 35 Michigan or 35 Indiana, 21 Michigan. 35 Indiana, 21 Michigan at halftime. Ashby says, wish USC versus UCLA game was nationally... I mean, it is nationally televised. It is. It's just not on ESPN. It is nationally televised, though. Yeah. You can watch it anywhere if you want. Kyra says, I hear it's never late in Vegas. But says UCLA. Daniel, I don't know what's going on with Cody McMahon. I don't know. But if Ohio State has any chance of going anywhere, I think they absolutely need Cody McMahon. to be Cody McMahon, not to be an average player. They need her to be herself. They need her to be the player she was last year. They need her to be the player that she was a couple weeks ago. That's what they need. That's what they need. Officer David says, Brink, Hidalgo, Cardoso, Watkins, and Peely for your All-American list. But then, who's your? But like most of those are like all post players though. Actually, this is an interesting conversation because I have seen people who there's two different ways to think about it. For when you think about like all American, like top players in the country, you can either think about it per skilled position, right? So 1 point guard, 1 shooting guard, 1 small forward, 1 power forward, one center, or you think about it as like just the top 5, regardless of where they're at, where you can end up with 4 post players, you know, if you wanted to. It's an interesting way to think about it. It is a interesting way to think about it. LSU Tiger 2 says they believe USC is going to win and Juju is going to go off. Ashby says, seems like USC has been pulling out the wins lately. I don't know, maybe more guts and grit, but they get it done. Yeah, they do get it done. They do get it done. I mean, that's what, you know, it may not be the nicest game. It may not be the cleanest game. It may not be the most stylish game, but you know, you pull out the win and you make it happen. You pull it out. Regardless of how ugly it looks. Thank you, David. David says, thanks, Quita. You're the best screen time of my week. Keep doing what you do. Go Tigers. Appreciate that. Thank you. Go Sam says, SEC was 4-3 against Pac-12 this season. 6-3 if you want to count Texas, who joins next season. Oh. I mean, that's a good thing to note. That is a good thing to note. Devin says, I would love to see your predictions for All-America in a video. I know you would make a great video of it. I love your content. Thank you. Devin, I will work on that. I will work on that, and I will I need to see when they release the All-America list so I can make sure to put mine out before that. And then I'll compare it to their list. So yeah, I'll try to do that. I'll try my best to do that. Michael says, I think women's college basketball and WNBA vote on All-American and All-W with the top 5, regardless of position. Okay. SC Brett, they're playing in Vegas? Doesn't Vegas use Pacific time? Isn't Vegas in Pacific time? Here, I can search it up real quick. Yeah, I mean, Las Vegas is in Pacific time. They're in the Pacific time zone, so that's the same time as West Coast time is Pacific Standard Time. So it's 7:30 Pacific, which is that's California, Washington State, Las Vegas. They're not. Wait, they are playing in Vegas though. I don't know. I think I'm confused about your comment. I think I'm confused. Y'all listen to David, listen to JB and hit that like button, y'all. We are almost at 200 likes. That would be fantastic if we can get to 200 likes. Guys, I do appreciate y'all for joining. And y'all, just so y'all know, if y'all ever want to watch the stream on Twitter, y'all can do that. I am live on Twitter right now, and it looks like we got 35 people who are watching on Twitter right now. So yeah, if y'all want to follow me there, y'all can absolutely do that. Also, I am on Instagram as well. If y'all want to follow me on Instagram as well. Go Sam says, sorry, I'm clearly a SEC homer. Officer Davis says, it would be awesome to have Peely and Pow Pow off the bench in an all-star league. Yeah. I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it, yeah. They both would be very deserving of it, in my opinion. Yeah, they both would be very deserving of it. Philip says, did Angel Reese get hurt today? Is she able to play tomorrow? She tweaked her ankle today, but she will likely play tomorrow. Though, LSU might want to consider the possibility of having Aaliyah Del Rosario play more minutes than intended. But yeah. Prince George, you are right. Yes, there will not be an All-American list by any outlet in the country without Caitlin Clark on it. Yes, but question for the group, guys: is there an autocorrect when people write Caitlin on like a phone or something like that? Is there an autocorrect? Because I see a lot of people and a lot of people say like spell Caitlin with the Y, and I'm wondering if people are like typing it in correctly. With no Y, and then it's like an autocorrect that's like changing it to a Y or something. Like, let me know. But I do think that yeah, there will not be a list without Caitlin Clark on it. And to me that's fine. To me that is absolutely fine. Oh, but yeah, don't forget about daylight savings time, guys. Don't forget. Mitch says 2 weeks retired, first time in 39 years. I could care less because I don't have to get up. Y'all, shout out to Mitch for retiring. That's awesome. That's awesome, Mitch. I hope you are having a fantastic time and enjoying retirement. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool to eventually retire and do something. I know I'm like way too young to be retiring at all. But yeah, shout out to Mitch for retiring. Officer David says, did you see my original list? The one, yeah. Didn't I just showed up? Was it the one with Peely, Ashlyn Watkins, Cardoso, Hannah Hidalgo, and it was somebody else? I forgot the other person. Was it Cameron Brink? Is that the list you're talking about? If so, yes, I saw it. Oh, I took Peely off for Caitlin Clark. Oh, okay. I guess I didn't see that one. Y'all, RC has entered the chat, y'all. RC has entered the chat. What up, RC? Are you happy today? Are you happy? Your team won. You happy? Y'all, Ole Miss and Florida are going back and forth, y'all. I got the game on sort of on the TV right over here on mute, and Ole Miss is winning 52-50, and we have a minute left in the third quarter. Oh, all right, Florida just scored. All right, y'all, it's 52-52. We're in the third quarter with 1 minute left to go. Guys, also Indiana is giving Michigan that work. The score is 38-22 with 8 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in the third quarter. So those are your in-progress game updates. All right, Oscar Davis says Caitlin Clark at 2, Hannah at 1, Juju at 3, Brink at 4, Cardoso at 5. All right, I respect the list. I respect the list. I respect it. Y'all, Kyra, that's a good question. That RC, how? Yes, answer the question for us. We gonna call you out, RC. We gonna call you out. Kyra's calling you out, RC. How many times have you changed your name? Like I've seen you. You know, you were RC and you were Rye, the Caitlin Clark and Hawkeye guy or something like that. And you changed it back to RC. Like, what's going on, RC? What's going on? What's going on, RC? But also, guys, if y'all don't know, RC has a YouTube channel, so y'all should check that out. RC, put the link to your channel in the comments so people can subscribe. Anyway, Linda says the Big Ten final is at 11 a.m. on Sunday, which will feel like 10 a.m. very, very nasty for the players who play semis tomorrow afternoon. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They have a finite amount of time to get all these games in. And I'm assuming there's some sort of must be some sort of restriction on the locations or something like that. That maybe, maybe they have to have games at certain times. So yeah, I'm not really sure, but it is what it is. It's a part of the college game. It happens every year. It happens every year. So. RC says, next time it's gonna Caitlin deserves a natty. You gonna change it again, RC? You gonna change it again? Come on now. Come on now. Yeah, and RC did drop the aces. What happened, RC? Not feeling the aces no more? Country says Iowa fan identity crisis. Oh man, yeah, he's Rye one day, RC the next, but we know who you are. Oh man. Hogboss says, what happened to the upset? I mean, it didn't happen. Well, we got one upset. We saw Maryland give Ohio State that work and destroyed them. We didn't see the SEC upsets that I was like, oh, maybe we'll see it. It didn't happen. But you never know. Tomorrow could be the day that someone gets got. But yeah, as y'all know, I'm always trying to get an upset. I want to upset. I do. But yeah, it don't always happen. But I tell you this, as I always say, anybody can get got. Anybody can get got, y'all. Merch is coming soon. Anybody can get got. So yeah, it could be tomorrow. Who knows? The March is still young. There is still more time for a team to get got. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I don't care who it is. Anybody can get got. And I would love to see whoever get got. I don't care who it is. Texas Equipment Finance says, RCIC causing trouble in multiple chats tonight. RC, what you doing, man? Stirring up trouble. What you doing, man? What you doing? Stirring up trouble. All right, guys. We talked about quite a bit today. Was there anything else y'all want to talk about before we end the chat? Anything else y'all want to talk about? Anything else y'all want to talk about? RC says Quita is going to be a LeBron-like decision that happens between I'm going to be an Aces fan or a Fever fan or both. I mean, you could be both. You could be both. You could be RC, the Fever, Aces, and Hawkeye, and Caitlyn fan. You could be all that. You can be all of that. Audrey says Sylvia said Angel is ready for the pros. Yeah, y'all. Let's kind of do a quick segue into talking about Sylvia Fowles. So Sylvia Fowles was at the game today. She's on the SEC network. Ended up having an interview with her. I think it was in between. I think it was in between halftime. I think. And first of all, I have to say, y'all, it was so good to see Sylvia Fowles. Sylvia Fowles is like one of the awesomest people ever. She just seems so great. She just seems like such a fantastic person. They called her Sweet Sil. They called her that for a reason. She's awesome. And they had her as a post-game interview today. Or not post-game interview, halftime interview. And they asked her several questions. And they asked, do you, like, basically Sylvia Fowles believes that that Angel Reese is pro ready. And that, you know, if they were to play against each other now, of course, Sylvia Fowles would get Angel Reese, which makes sense. I mean, what former player would say that a current college player would get them? You know, when it comes like a one-on-one or whatever like that. But yeah, I thought it was pretty awesome. You could tell the love that Sylvia Fowles has, the love and respect that Sylvia Fowles has for this LSU team. I thought it was awesome that the SEC network interviewed her because I haven't heard a peep from Sylvia Fowles since she retired. She says she's enjoying being an auntie and enjoying that life. So shout out to Sylvia Fowles. I hope to see more from her in the future. Just to have her just as someone who can hop on for like post games or halftime stuff or like whatever, because, you know, Sylvia Fowles is awesome. Sylvia Fowles is pretty awesome. So it was really great to see her. I don't know how much y'all know. I mean, are y'all familiar with Sylvia Fowles? I'm not sure like the level of like knowledge of like the former greats, even though she just retired. She hasn't been retired for very long. But yeah, I thought that was a great interview. I thought it was funny that she was like, nah, Angel Reese can't get me. I thought that was pretty funny. Lee has a good question for you guys. Lee says, what are you guys' favorite WNBA teams? So, of course, the Chicago Sky, of course. You know what I'm going to say? Of course, it's the Chicago Sky. It's always the Chicago Sky for me. But back in the day, I was a big fan of other teams as well. I was a Sparks fan. I was a San Antonio Silver Stars fan, like a huge San Antonio. Like, so what I did is I followed certain players. So when Becky Hammond went from, remember she started off with the New York Liberty. When she went to the San Antonio Silver Stars, that was when I started watching San Antonio like that. And I became a huge San Antonio Silver Stars fan. Huge. And I was a big Phoenix Mercury fan when Penny Taylor was on the team. It was like, sure, sure, Diana Taurasi was great, but my favorite player was Penny Taylor. That was my favorite player for Phoenix. And then when Penny Taylor retired, that was when I hung up my my fandom for Phoenix, for the Phoenix Mercury. And then for the LA Sparks, it was all about first it was about Lisa Leslie. Then it was about Tina Thompson when she was on the LA Sparks for a while. I like Delisha Milton Jones, and then Candace Parker. And then I was a Sacramento Monarchs fan for a while, and that was because of oh my goodness, how am I the point guard who was like pretty phenomenal. I don't know how I'm blanking on her name. Oh my goodness. She Tisha Penicheiro. There we go. Tisha Penicheiro. Before she went to the Chicago Sky, she played for the Sacramento Monarchs, and I was a big fan of them. Again, I followed certain players, and when players went to a certain team or when they left a certain team, I either started my fandom or ended my fandom after that. And then for like the Seattle Storm, I was a big Seattle Storm fan for a good bit. A real good bit. And that was because of Lauren Jackson. I was a big Lauren Jackson fan. To this day, I'm a big Lauren Jackson fan. And, after she kept getting hurt and after she effectively retired from the WNBA, I was done. I was done with the Seattle Storm. And now it's just a Chicago Sky. And I like to watch other teams, but now it's just a Chicago Sky. Anyway, guys, that is basically the video, guys. I do appreciate y'all rocking with me. I do appreciate that. I hope y'all have a fantastic day, guys. I will be back tomorrow, guys. I will be back tomorrow for a live stream, so we can talk about who's going to be in the championships for the various games. So I will likely do a live stream, sort of either mid-afternoon or late afternoon tomorrow, depending on if we see any upsets early or late in the day. But yeah. That is the stream, guys. I do want to say thank y'all so much for watching the stream. Thank y'all for engaging in the chat, and I hope y'all have a fantastic night. Be safe. Don't do nothing crazy. Have fun. I'm gonna go walk my dogs, and I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. All right, and guys, never forget. Anybody can get got. Don't forget that. All right. And without further ado, guys, bye-bye, y'all.